Eric says it's government spending that caused inflation. So, I mean, putting more money into people's hands, right, is what a lot of these conservatives want to say caused inflation. So, and in that height, they're calling it on the government, because the government gave money to people and people had money to spend, that it's government fault that the prices automatically increased. All right. We already discussed several times over and over again that in the case of gasoline, and I'm just using gasoline as one example, we could use it for every example, for food, for everything. Now, the way pricing work with these corporations, right, is they'll price whatever people are willing to pay for it. They have the choice of leaving a price the same, or dropping the price or raising the price. They have the choice. They know that Americans got some money from the government. Americans got that money from the government. Americans could do one of several things, right? They could save that money, or they could spend that money. What we found is a lot of people save that money that they got from the government for a rainy day. But that was not good enough for corporate America. Corporate America decided that because they knew that Americans had money, they were just going to take it away. And how do you take the money away from Americans? In the case of gasoline, remember, there's only one reason to raise prices on gasoline, is so that people would buy less of it if you have a tight supply. But as you know right now, you can't find anywhere where you can't find gasoline. There's gasoline all over the place. All over the place. So the only reason for the gasoline prices to go up is because the corporate guys says, we know that people have extra money, so they can spend that extra money on gasoline. How do you get that it's the government that's causing inflation when it is the corporate guys who know that people have more money, so they are going to increase the price of the product because people are still going to buy it. They're not going to stop buying it. And then worse, you want to blame a government when what you watch is you watch all the corporate guys go on to CNBC and start to say, we are making a killing. These price increases are going directly into our pockets as share buybacks, also as bonuses for the executives, also as higher dividends. What kind of psychology would have one to believe that it's the government causing these high prices as opposed to corporate America, who has these high prices just because they can? And the only way to mitigate that is to create a windfall profit tax. In other words, we are going to break a certain amount. After a certain point, we're going to take that money back away from you and give it back to the people you stole it from. It's that simple. That's simple. Now, of course, the best answer is on industries where people don't much have the choice. We should nationalize those industries where it is proven that these corporations will simply increase prices, make your life difficult, prevent you from saving because they can. And as long as we have many people continuing to talk about somehow the government being responsible for inflation, while you watch rich corporate guys get rich with bonuses, shareholders get rich with stock buybacks and dividends, and the average American citizen, most of which don't own stocks to earn that dividend, suffer and are unable to save. Folks, it's time for us to stop allowing them to dumbify us into believing that it's we the people who are causing the problem, and understand who's actually causing the problem. Corporate America. They cause the supply chain problem. They cause the offshoring problem. They cause they cause all these problems are not government created problems. They're created by corporate America. All right. The government policy leading to higher prices wipes away everyone's savings, period. Can't blame your way out of this one. Voters will remember in November. I wonder, Eric, I gave you the cycle. I gave you the cycle of how I gave you just for gasoline, but I could just as well do it for milk, cheese, etc. But I gave you the cycle of how prices increase. These are prices that increase not because of demand, but because they could. Because they knew there was money in Americans' pocket and they raised the prices as much as they could. That's not government's doing. Because if you're saying that's government doing that, that's saying government shouldn't put money into the pockets of people who would need it or would do well to save it or whatever, because we need to leave them in the condition that they're in. Only a certain few deserve to have excess revenue. That's what you're saying. If you're saying the average American citizen can't have some extra cash, that's what you're saying. I find it amusing. Not amusing, I find it really pathetic, but hey, if you can live with yourself on that, what can I say?
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.